there, this is Shraddha. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I have had the honor to talk to the USA Today bestselling author Alicia Rades. We talked about her books, her amazing and beautiful book covers, Princess Diaries, and so much more. So if you're interested, then please continue watching. Please welcome the USA Today bestselling author Alicia Rades. Hello, Alicia. It's truly an honor to have you here tonight. I'm so happy. I can't express how happy I feel at the moment. You're one of my most favorite authors. So, I actually am doing a sort of a word vomit here. But seriously, I'm crazy when it comes to books and you. Thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Okay, so shall we start?
Sure.
Okay. Before we begin, I would like to say that your eyes are beautiful. I mean, seriously, they're so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, so my first question, what inspired you to start writing?
I guess I've just always been drawn to writing. Ever since I was little, I started out writing poetry like when I was 8 years old, and when I was about 12, I got into writing short stories, and for a while I didn't write a whole lot. But then when I turned 19, I had all these friends who were doing National Novel Writing Month. I'm like, hey, if they can do it, I can do it. So I wrote my first novel then, and it's just been a journey since then.
You were quite young at that time. It's quite impressive. All right. So when did you first realize you wanted to be a writer?
I would say when I was 12, I was very into reading, and I just was like, one day I'm going to be an author. And I kind of thought it wasn't ever going to happen until I got older. And then I proved to myself that I could write a longer story, a full novel, and I thought this is what I want to do. I just really enjoy it.
All right. So where do you get your information or ideas for your books?
So my ideas, I usually start with a general idea of what I want to write. So for example, like I want to do angels and demons. Like I'll choose a pretty common trope and kind of go from there. I'll create my characters first, and they kind of lead me where the story is going to go. As far as like looking up information, I typically I turn to Google for a lot of things. But there are times when I have to interview people. Like for my Hidden Legends series, I write disabilities. And so one of my characters, for example, has lupus, and I had to like watch YouTube videos and interview people who had lupus to try to represent that represent that accurately.
That's a lot of hard work. So, what is your work schedule like when you're writing?
When I'm writing, I try to get at least 2,000 words a day in my book. That doesn't always happen. I have 2 kids at home, so I try to write when they're napping. But every day the schedule can kind of be different. Lately, I've actually been producing audiobooks, so I haven't had a whole lot of time to write. And sometimes I can just listen to that when the kids are playing and stuff like that. So it really changed. My schedule changes every day.
Okay. So, do you remember the first story you ever read and the impact it had on you?
If we want to go way, way back, the first story I remember was called I Wear My Tutu Everywhere. It was a children's picture book, and I still have it. I don't know if it's on one of my shelves in here, but I have the book, and it's like torn to pieces because I would just read it over and over again as a kid. That was so long ago, I don't remember the impact it had on me, but it definitely, I would say, got me into reading, started my love of reading, which is, I was probably like 4 years old at the time, so I've been a reader my whole life.
All right. So, what was your favorite book when you were a kid? That's the same question. But anyways.
Well, that's one, but no, I have a couple of books here because I gathered some books when I saw what questions you were going to ask, and
Uh-huh.
a couple of them, here's a couple, is The Princess Diaries was one that I read over and over, and I actually had gotten rid of the series because I thought I'm never going to read these again as I got older, and I regretted it. So I actually found this copy at a used bookstore this past week, and I thought that's the exact one that I had as a kid, and I want to reread that. So I thought
Have you
that was really.
watched the movies for The Princess Diaries? The movies?
What about them?
Have you watched them? The
Yeah.
movies?
So
What
they're
do you
actually very different from the books, but I like both of them. Uh, but yeah. Then this is one of the other ones that really impacted me. It's called Don't Die Dragonfly. It's about a teen psychic. So this is another book that I read over and over again and inspired my Crystal Frost series. So again, when you had asked about how you come up with ideas, I just started with that idea of a teen psychic because I had loved that series so much. And I created my own world and characters out of that idea.
Oh, okay. So, what do you think makes a good story?
I would say obviously you need like a good outline, a good pacing of the story, but ultimately for me, it's the characters. I love to follow characters who I can relate to, who approach situations maturely, I would say. Obviously, you don't always get that when you're reading teen fiction, but at least if they're growing and learning emotional lessons, that's what I love to see in a book.
Yeah, I love the characters too, especially when they're strong heroines and all that.
Uh-huh.
All right. So, which of your books were the most enjoyable to write?
I think that's a really hard question because it's like asking me which of my kids are my favorite. I don't, you can't. I'm gonna say here, I have it here. The Fire Prophecy, like this series, was really fun to write because I wrote it with a co-author. So it's very fun to be able to bounce ideas off of each other, and I don't always know what she's going to come up with in her chapter, and so it's fun to like be surprised in my own book too.
The cover is amazing. I actually like the covers of all your novels. They're so, mesmerizing and beautiful.
Thank you. I definitely like cover art too, so I always try to pick something I fall in love with.
Okay, so do you have a favorite character that you have written? If so, who is it? And what makes them so special?
Again, this is like choosing one of my choosing a child, but I would say it's from this series. It's the best friend in this series, Imogen. She's just like so quirky, and she like loves like glitter and unicorns, and she grows so much through the series. Like at first she's kind of like quiet and kind of reserved, even though she's like the weirdo. But she just becomes like this really strong, confident woman, and it's just so much fun to hang out with her.
Every weirdo does end up becoming a strong person in the end. That's why they're a weirdo. Okay, so have you experienced a writer's block?
Yes, I think all writers have, but for me, I don't let it last too long. If I feel like I'm stuck, I'll talk it out with someone, even if they're just listening. As long as I can just talk it out, I'm able to overcome that pretty quickly.
So, if you were to be one of the divine fate characters, who would it be?
This was also a hard question, but I think I'm gonna go with Allie because she's like the best friend. I think she's a fun character too. She's not always involved in as much drama as like the main characters, so she can kind of chill a little more, but also like help them out and have fun doing it. So.
Allie is the life of the book, right? Throughout the novel, she's the one she keeps on making jokes, and the novel's getting funny and funny, and I love it. Okay, So, if you were to be a supernatural creature, who would it be?
I always say I would definitely be a witch. I just, for some reason, resonate with witches, and especially with psychics. Like I don't have any real psychic abilities, but like if I did, or if I had magic, I feel like it'd be some sort of psychic,
Oh,
something or other.
okay. So, if you were to get a magical ability, what would it be?
So yeah, I'd be a witch with, I don't know, some maybe psychic. Maybe I just want, everything that a witch comes with. I'd be able to like move stuff with my wand or or whatever. That would be
Okay.
pretty.
Okay. So, who is the author you admire the most in your genre?
Um, I am going to go with Megan Linsky because she's my co-writer, and just working with her is so much fun. She's so knowledgeable about story structure, about just the business of being an author in general, and it's just so much fun to hang out with her as a friend too.
Okay. So, okay. What are you reading right now?
I am actually not reading anything right now. I'm in between books, but I think I'm gonna reread this again next. So
You seem obsessed with the Princess Diaries, are you now?
it's been so long since I read them, and it's so interesting to me to think about getting that, that spark of how much I loved reading and just revisiting that like I did when I was a kid.
Okay. Do you have any new series planned?
So right now I'm working on the Hidden Legends universe, which is it's various different series all set within the same world. So my plan is to just keep writing in that for the moment. So I am currently working on the College of Witchcraft series and the Prison for Supernatural Offenders series, in which are in the same universe. Some of the characters cross over and show up in different series, but after those, we're just gonna keep going on with Hidden Legends, introduce some new characters, and explore some of the other supernatural races that we haven't looked into in these current books yet.
Okay. Share something your readers wouldn't know about you.
I had something for this question and I totally forgot what it was, but something most people wouldn't know about me is that my family gardens, and we can a lot of our vegetables. So we make our own food and preserve it for all year round.
My mother also likes growing plants, though she doesn't grow vegetables and all. But she's having this whole, not exactly a greenhouse, but she's having a lot of plants all around the house. You'll find plants. Okay, so if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Let's see. Uh, I definitely think I'm a big dreamer. I dream big. Probably why I'm able to create fantasy worlds out of nothing. But I have big dreams, big goals. I am very determined. So when I have those goals, I will go for them. And a third one, I guess I would say compassionate. I just try really hard to try to understand other people, which is why I love writing so much, because it gives me a chance to understand people who aren't like me by writing those characters. And like I said, interviewing people who have experiences different than me.
Finally, any message you would like to give to your readers?
Um, I don't remember preparing for this question, so just I would say go after your dreams and like be yourself, go after what you want. I think that's what a lot of my stories really come down to, is learning and growing, and becoming who you really want to be instead of who everyone else wants you to be. And just yeah, going after what you want. So
That's quite deep and motivational. Thank you very much, Alicia, for doing this with me. It was my honor. And I was, as I told you before, I was literally jumping from joy all throughout the day. Oh my God, I'm talking to Alicia Rades. People were, it's sort of crazy when you're talking to your favorite author and people around you won't understand you, and it's much more frustrating. But thank you very much for doing this. I'm
Thank you.
truly honored.
Yeah, thank you so much for asking me. I love talking to readers, so it was great.
It was my honor. It was my honor. Thank you. It's like, it's almost 12 here, so I should probably go.
Well, have a good night.
Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. I had a wonderful time talking to her, and I hope you enjoyed the conversation too. One of the best things about Alicia is that she is super interactive with her readers. As a reader, I got in touch with her and she replied to my mails, and she sounds so earnest and as if she's sitting right next to me and we're talking in person. That's something I really, really love about her. Another thing that I like about her is that all her novels are very, very refreshing and the plot is new. At some point when you're reading fiction or paranormal fantasy, you realize that more or less all the theories are same or they're connected in one way or the other. So you end up getting bored, or probably you realize that, okay, maybe this is copied or something like that. But that's the thing that I love about her books. They are so unique. The characters, the plot, the action, even the jokes that are being cracked are so new. And that's something I really admire and love about her. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you like this video, then do not forget to smash the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.